Hello everyone, welcome back to cosolix. I'm your host cosolix, and today we're reviewing a match from every rank in Brawlhalla. So in a previous video, if you want to go watch that one first, pause the video, go check out that video. I 1v1'd every rank in Brawlhalla. I'm going to link that video down below just to make it easy for you guys. But then today, we're actually going to analyze that video. What's the real difference between every rank in Brawlhalla? And you're especially going to see what skills made it more difficult for me to win against. First couple matches I 3-stocked, but we're going to see exactly what are those mistakes that you can learn to improve your gameplay. Here at cosolix, our goal is to help you improve at Brawlhalla. So if you want to improve at Brawlhalla, subscribe for more, and I hope you enjoy this video. Also, if you want some personal coaching, check out cosolix.com. Some really cool merchandise there. I got the Screw Lance t-shirt, so you're going to want to go check that out. Let's go. Let's get right into this video. Again, link down below if you want to go see it. You're going to be hearing my voice twice. Deeply apologize, Nat. But yeah, let's take a look. So we're playing against a Silver Moonin player here. So, you know, we're a neutral. I get a little stare. I'm not going to hyper analyze absolutely everything. We're going to see exactly. Okay, so that was a mistake there. I baited with movement. They're just kind of throwing out stuff there. That was a really bad dare. And when I say something is bad, there's no reason behind it. That side light was fine. That down light was pretty bad. That side light was pretty bad. And you can see I'm just kind of schmooving and they're just attacking. Especially that side light there. There's not a lot of thought between it. And let me break this down even more. So I'm just going to set the playback speed really low. Take a look at this just after this situation. They go for like a random like down light or something just on the right side here. Just wait 1 second. Was it before? No, it had to have been after this because no, I didn't hit that. Yeah, it was after. Okay, so take a look at this. You see this side light here? I'm not on the ground. I wasn't even close to being on the ground. They decided to side light here. It's like there's just no brain going on right here. There's no thought. There's always a reason behind everything if you're doing things right. At least there's a thought behind everything. I can't explain the thought behind that side light. Like when you're playing Brawlhalla, I want you to imagine you are the character you're playing. You do not want to get punched in the face. If you're in a fist fight to the death, right? Your life is on the line. Do you really want to be throwing out random punches to make yourself vulnerable? No. Everything is for a reason if you're doing it right. So when you're playing these matches, I want you to kind of think about that reason. Sure, it's going to slow things down, but sometimes you have to take it slow. Get those foundations, those essentials to get good at, and then you get things going faster from there.
Because I don't know, like you don't know the habits.
Yeah,
like, you don't
I don't know what people are gonna do sometimes. Like sometimes they're just not going for punishes.
So,
definitely just a little bit weird. Not a lot of movement options. That side light because I was up close to them, I guess. That Sarah was fine. That side light, like that's what I mean by some random stuff. Sometimes it can be a bait, but they don't know what they're doing. It's not really a bait a lot of the time. And there as well, again, a thought process behind everything. Watch this dodge. They're dodging to stage to touch the stage. They're wasting something that also makes them vulnerable. And they didn't need to do that. Like you can see exactly the options they're going for off stage from here. Okay, you have another jump left, they recovery. You have a jump and a dodge. But they're dodging because they just feel stressed, and then they just eat a ground pound because it's dumb. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense. Again, a dodge is something that makes you vulnerable. You don't want to be vulnerable for not a good reason. If you're gonna dodge something, it's gotta be worthwhile. You don't want to waste it randomly. Again, that side light. Okay, that down light was bad. That Sarah was bad. It's just random, and you're going towards me, so you're making yourself vulnerable. That side light as well, and then you didn't dodge my side lights there. But it's one dodge frame, so yeah, it happens. And then that side light as well, and then I hit a combo, almost get that. That down light, and then yeah, almost again getting a combo. They're not dodging the combos either. Like no dodge there as well. You should be dodging to avoid those follow-ups. That's silver. You just don't know what you're doing. Now we're on gold. Okay, it's a gold Scarlet player. I 3-stocked them as well. Spoiler alert. So let's see exactly. I remember every match got a little bit harder. Like I think the gold did a little bit more damage. Right off the get-go, that side sig was again forced. Now they're dodging, which is good. But now you have no dodge. And I go for a jump read here. They're instant naring. That's fine. Kind of worked. That side light was, again, a little bit random. And then there you're just running into me and get destroyed. Just a couple, like that side sig, you know, and I caught a dodge, and then that's kind of stuck. That dodge as well was pretty bad. Now you don't have a dodge. Doesn't dodge out of that for some reason. Has a dodge here. Should have dodged there. And then dodged up. I got a read there. Goes up again. I should have went up. Usually I do. And then they're just, yeah, not really avoiding it. A wake up there. They woke up with a nair before. Avoid the follow-ups, especially since I was going for them so much. They should be prioritizing dodging those strings because they were just getting eaten by strings.
Okay.
What is that side
Wait,
sig?
really?
That end sig too. They're just getting stressed. They're getting really stressed.
Take a stock?
No, like, take a stock off me. No.
I think we do another one. Yeah, we'll analyze the second one. We'd go to one stock here. So, and it's the same thing right here in this little situation. This downlight, they decide to downlight here. It's a dash downlight because I'm here. You're praying I'm gonna run into that downlight. You're guessing I'm gonna run into that downlight. Imagine you're boxing someone and you're throwing a punch where they're not. And you're like, oh yeah, I predicted it. No, it's because people have bad habits of running into the stage and running into your attacks. I just avoid it and I get a free punish. So again, if you're gold or platinum, try and be a bit more calculated. I like to talk about something called attack accuracy. Try and be more accurate with what you're trying to do. Sure, it slows the game down when you're bad at the game, but it will speed it up over time. You have to know what you're doing to do it fast. You have to get those essentials. Not knowing their true combos there. Okay, that was a bad side light. Now they're dodging, which is good. That side sig was in the opposite direction. Again, no true combo. That side light was bad. They didn't dodge that there. Okay, somehow avoided that. That end light was kind of forced. That's a combo, the Sarah side light, that doesn't work unless you hit the Sarah really weird, which I talked about in a new video. You should go check that one out. Didn't dodge the combo. So there's a lot of not dodging combos, throwing stuff out when they shouldn't, because it's kind of forced, it's kind of random, it's not accurate. And that was the major stuff. Now we're on plat. It's a plat rolling player. And again, they get a little bit better over time. So let's take a look at this. So that dare was nice, pretty accurate there. It's a good dare. That was a good try on the downlight, especially I just had a little bit better movement here to avoid this all. Let's go back and break that down just slightly. So the cool thing with movement is you can really pressure. Look how close I get to them. You can see why they wanted to downlight. You're going in, out, in, out. Using movement to pressure like this is super useful. So guys, practice your movement so you can do stuff like this. That downlight, I don't blame the plat for going for it because it looked like I was right in front of them, but I wasn't. That side light was a little bit forced, especially like the decision of like when you should side light there. I'm just away from you. It's not accurate, but maybe it's more accurate against plats who don't know how to avoid it as well. That end light was a bit forced. I'd roll back on that there. That down light was a bit forced. You didn't dodge that side light there. Now has no dodge, so I get a ground pound. And even here, we talked about wasting the dodge off stage a bit earlier. They're dodging when I'm not even near them. When you have tons of other options. We can even watch this again. That was your last jump. Dodge. You still have a recovery. I would have recovered, then dodged the stage to avoid my ground pound. But yeah, that's dodging first. You just wait. You make yourself vulnerable off stage. So now they're off stage. Again, dodging the stage here. I could have side light nair, GCN lighted, pretty much confirmed. And then there, I'm just using movement again, just baiting them out by going in and out with movement, pressuring. That side light was a bit forced. That there just missed. I dodged there, but that dodge was fine. And then that was good waiting, good, a little bit more patience. And that's a big difference between plat and gold and silver. Take a look in this situation. They actually won neutral here. So they're just sticking to the ground, you know, and I'm in a disadvantaged state. So I try and use a broken Lance Sarah that got nerfed. Like, take a look at this. I'm in and out pressuring. He's not moving. So I'm trying to use tempo. I use this Lance Sarah to try and bait. He waits, realizes I'm going to the left, moves to the right, then side lights. W play. Very accurate from the plat here. taking that split second to make sure that you're making the right decision, W. That's a big difference between the ranks. Again, it's accuracy and just kind of think logically. That side that was bad, and then just jumped into a side stick. But that little situation, that's where I can see the difference between ranks. Gold players, it's less calculated. Plats, a little bit more calculated. Understand the game. There you just have no dodge, then you're jumping into my stuff because I'm cracked. But I took the dodge and then kind of reacted to it. That stuff happens. Same thing there. If you don't know what reactions are, it's basically when you go for an attack that you can't follow up well, you just kind of look at how your opponent dodges. So take a look in this situation here. So I land a lance downlight. I did a gravity cancel downlight. I don't have a good follow-up out of this downlight. Maybe I can do a safe one, like a jump, chase, dodge, reverse nair, and try and bait. But I don't want to bait. I see he dodged there diagonally, so then I nair again. Now he's got no dodge, so I go for the side air. He jumps, can't chase me. I get a side light because they try and chase me for some reason. I go for the end sig because they had no dodge, but he fast fell, which is smart. And then they waste a dodge there for positioning, so then I go for a side light stare. They get the dodge back because grounded. Bit broken. Good dodge there. Go for a ground pound because I'm greedy. That was a bad ground pound. I go for a side light because he was close to me, but I'm also greedy. And then he just didn't dodge the side light recovery. And didn't have a ton of movement, so I got 8 by that side light. So it's definitely getting better. But a lot of lack of movement to try and bait out my attacks and make me miss. Still wasting that dodge sometimes in wrong situations. But that was kind of like a little bit more accurate, getting better. It was mostly movement and then the little stuff. So like how to combo optimally and stuff. That's the next level we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing Diamond players and Valhallan players. They're going to start going for more efficient follow-ups. They're not going to make as many mistakes in neutral. And let's see. Match now. I remember this guy cooked me on Greatsword this first stock. So right away, we're neutral. He stares as a bait. He does a side light bait. He does a dodge. I dodge it because I got scared. And then 1, 2, 3. Easy. Greatsword. Good nair. Good punish on that. I go for a reverse nair for momentum. Thought it was safe. It wasn't safe. I hit side light there. End light. Could have dodged that. We're baiting each other out. I shouldn't have sared there. That was a bad sare, and I just got wrecked. I could have dodged one of those, but that was a clean combo. Now he's got no dodge. I could probably nair here because he has no dodge. Yep. Go for a recovery follow-up. Pretty safe. Sidelight nair again. Shouldn't have went for that end sig, but it's fine. Got a nair sare. But that one greatsword combo was crazy. I probably should have dodged it, but that's what I mean by advantage state. Like knowing the combos and whatnot as well. That was really dumb from him. No, just a gravity cancel off stage. A little bit greedy. Yeah, might have been a misinput. Could have been like a dodge and a recovery. Yeah. That end sig was random. Again, waking up with these signatures is random sometimes. And that recovery got punished. He's not dodging the one frame combos, which I'd focus on dodging. That ground pound was risky for me. I hit the Sair, chase dodge for positioning, go for a Nair, especially because it's safe, get the Nair Sair, and then he jumps into the next one.
Yeah, I start getting ready.
That's, just... GG's. You got wrecked. Nair, Sair again, he keeps falling into that. I would have dodged it, especially there. I think he had a dodge. I'm just going to double check. That's a bad habit where I'm just landing these strings. Oh, he dodged after getting hit by a weapon throw. I guess to avoid a follow-up. And then I recognize that. But he could have jumped this. He just fell into it. And then I go for a dare for a tempo follow-up. He goes for an end sig. Tempo is basically a follow-up that is unpunishable. So that dare I didn't think was punishable. And he goes for a stupid end sig. I hit the end light. I go for a reverse nair. Because again, it's a follow-up that's unpunishable. And then I try and go for the Sair because he used to fall into them. Now he jumped, which is nice. Now a little bit of like movement to try and get me to bait. You know. But this is also a bad habit. When you're losing, a lot of people, they'll jump a lot. Jump, jump, jump. When you're jumping this much, you lose stage control. And stage control is really important because when you have stage control, you have all your options. But the moment you're in the air, you're limiting your options in neutral. So like maybe you'll win sometimes jumping, bait people out with the jumps, but more often than not, the person on the stage wins. So if you're a plat diamond player, you want to get really good at holding stage control. And Paula does it beautifully. Same with Godly.
No.
Definitely check those out. I just saved him.
Thank you.
And now, again, we're in neutral. I pressure him, and look how high he is already. So then I call him out with a nair, almost call him out with a second nair, almost called him out with the Sair. What is that? Side sig. And you're dead. Never mind, I'm bad.
No.
Dude, this is greed, and I'm on my first stock, so I was just having fun. And that side sig was random. It's a Hail Mary. GG's. We have about a 2400. This is not Valhallan, but close to Valhallan. Super. So Super is actually a really good player, but he has a lot of bad habits. Super 5-2-1. So look at the movement already. This is already a big difference between the low diamond and Valhallan, and I showed him this. Look at the dash dances he was doing there. It actually baited out my downlight. Dash, dash. He's got some stage control. Was a little bit higher before. Dash, 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 dash. And see how we're stacked here? I thought I could downlight, but I couldn't because of the movement. So guys, practice your movement, especially baiting with movement. Now, this is one of Super's bad habits. He does these gravity cancel side lights. I nair, dare tempo, almost hold back enough to avoid that there. That Sair from his was bad. That side light was bad. He goes for a lot of attacks in disadvantaged state, and you're gonna see that a lot. Wake ups, gravity cancel wake ups, and whatnot. And there, I just went. That was more of a guess on how he was gonna dodge, but it was worth the risk because I was only in yellow. And yeah, he just shouldn't have went up. But a lot of what gave me neutral in the first place was him attacking in disadvantaged state. So let's take a look at. You'll see what I mean. Like this Sair right here was pretty bad, right? That downlight resetting, I guess, is fine. Now we're in neutral. Neutral, neutral, neutral.
I feel so slow.
He actually won neutral there. But that side was a bit of an extension. That's fine. That side sig put him in a really bad situation, especially it was not confirmed. Now he's off stage, limiting his options. Has to wait to dodge. Actually got back. And look at like his position. He's a little scared of me. Double jumping, sitting in the corner a little bit. But the neutral's pretty nice. He's not losing it that much. A lot of back and forth, actually. Good weapon toss.
I don't know the position.
That was a bad Sair from me, but it baited just enough. I probably shouldn't have went for it. There I was going for a reaction because he dodged up to the right, but I didn't hit it. And he gets some stage control, goes for some tempo there, and that was really nice. So this is what I mean by going for follow-ups so they're unpunishable. So he goes for, he wins neutral, right? I'll show you again. So he wins neutral, and then he goes for this nair while holding back, and it baits out my side light because I think he can land. Again, it's an unpunishable follow-up. Sometimes it can be punishable, but a lot of times, like, people aren't good enough. I wasn't good enough to punish it, so I got caught by it. So unpunishable follow-ups, really useful. Just like that as well, that's tempo. It's just using stuff you know when your opponent's kind of in buttfuck nowhere. Like, look where I am. I am getting tricked. Oh, he can Sair my down sig. No, I can't. Look at my positioning. And then I go right, I get eaten by a stomp Sair. Really good stuff in advantage state there from Super. That was a good try in the recovery. I was just accurate. A lot of people get called out by that on Lance. And this little interaction here, let's take a look at this. I go for a recovery. This is tempo. He tries to go for a recovery. And then I get a Sair. So little stuff like that. Again, tempo and neutral is like a big difference between players at higher skill levels. And then smarter advantage state too. That was a bad ground pound from me. That down sig's a bad down sig from him. Just makes him vulnerable. And that was a bad GC side light from me. But take a look at, like, again, tempo. This recovery, I hold back down. I maintain stage control, and it's pretty unpunishable. Now, this was bad. Now I've got no dodge. He hits that, and he goes for the recovery. He should have went for a dodge up, chase dodge up recovery to cover the jump. That was a bad GC side light for me once again, and he punishes it well. So he's calling out some of my mistakes. Now that Sair was a mistake. That's just a raw Sair neutral, just a bad Sair. Same thing, I was going for stuff that's kind of unpunishable as a follow-up. I dare, shouldn't have went for that recovery. And he's just going for an end light in disadvantage state. It is tempo in advantage state. Like, actually, that was just a string follow-up. He just shouldn't be going for stuff that isn't true when it's not confirmed. And he gets eaten for that. He should, he should have went for a reaction and seen where I moved afterwards and then gone for something safer. That, or he could have went for a more unpunishable follow-up. That follow-up was just risky.
Really bad.
Now we're in neutral once again. We're in neutral. That downlight was bad. I called him out for jumping afterwards. Neutral again. He
Alright, it's okay.
dodged in neutral, don't recommend it. He's dodging a lot in neutral. He actually won it there. Now I hit side light there. And that's what I mean by reactions. Right there, I know I was pausing and playing. I'm going to slow this thing down. This is a really optimal thing to do if you want to beat diamonds. Take a look at this. So when you win, and this is the optimal way for advantage state. When you win neutral, it's going for stuff. So that was tempo right there. Drew in his dare because he's trying to punish something that he can't punish. So I hit side light, down air. And then instead of going for the one dodge from end light, which is a pretty safe follow-up, I wait. See he dodges inwards, turn around, jump nair. Now he has no dodge. I can go for a recovery. I can go for another nair. So I go for another nair. That almost hit. And it's safe because you're just reacting. I don't need to go for that second nair. Playing for reactions, really smart. Nair as well. I don't think that dare is a reaction. I think that was a follow-up that was unpunishable, and he just happened to dodge that way. And I went for a nair, which is an unpunishable follow-up, but he did a wake-up Sarah. That down sig was messy from him. That dare was messy as well. Okay, and then the same dodge up that he did earlier, and that's the game. Really, though, he can beat me. It's a couple small things in both neutral and in like that disadvantage, advantage state, deciding what's tempo and not. They're little things. They take a while to... Now we're in the Valhallan. Mike, pop us one. Let's see what the Valhallan does. And the Valhallan's very similar to me, where we're doing those kind of more optimal stuff with good movement in neutral. Right there, I use movement, bait out that Sarah.
Let me just
Some control stuff.
my Wu-Ting,
Here's a Wu-Ting keyboard. Apparently it's a good keyboard. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, we're in neutral. That was a bad DC downlight from him. He was trying to call out a cross-up. Cross-up is basically when you, like, cross. So it's like you cross directions with someone. Let's say someone's in the middle of the stage. You go past them. You're crossing. So you tried to call out the cross-up by gravity cancel downlight. Didn't really work. And that's exactly right there. Going for follow-ups that are unpunishable, that are still follow-ups, extremely useful. I want to show you this one more time. So he wins neutral. We're not going to go into that too much. He's going for a reaction here. So he sees me dodge up, goes for the recovery, but then he's holding backwards. He avoids the nair by barely holding backwards. This is great. Let's watch this one more time. One more time. So he wins neutral because I try and punish this gravity cancel downlight that I thought I could punish. I lose it. Happens. Okay, now he's waiting for a reaction, sees me dodge up, goes for the recovery as a reaction. W reaction time. Then I'm like, oh, I can punish his recovery. Holds backwards. So now I can't punish the recovery. And then he wins neutral again. Okay, W. And now he's just going for a nice offstage edge guard and barely misses it because I do a wake up Sarah to get back to stage really quickly. I win neutral. Now I'm going for... that was a dodge read in. That was a guess. In all honesty, and it worked. And then I beautifully hit a couple more reads that were safe. But that was more of a guess. A lot of people just dodge in a lot, just like that one. That's another guess. The down sig is a huge hitbox, so it's just a safe guess sometimes. And especially when I'm in yellow, like I kind of want to set the mood for the game, and it's good to go for some stuff like that. Damn. Is it 100% optimal every game? No. Is it worth it if it's a big heavy guess? Yeah, like that side sig is what I missed. That ground pound was really optimal as a punish. And then right there, I used some recoveries to draw him out. And this is, again, tempo. We're drawing him out by doing unpunishable moves. Recovery, unpunishable. Can't punish it, exhaust recovery. Easy. Tempo, tempo, tempo. It's just making your opponent think that they can punish you and just do a follow-up that's unpunishable because of your momentum. You're moving away from people, etc. It's a lot safer than going for strings when your opponent's just going to get out of them every single time. And there again, they're going for reactions, hits a combo, waits to see what I do, avoids it, then hits the Sarah. It's a lot of reacting when you don't have anything safe to do. When you got nothing is confirmed, reacting and tempo are two really safe tools. That is a huge tip for anyone that's trying to take their gameplay to the next level. So again, reacts to end light, me falling, W, recovery, and another recovery is a tie game. It's a Valhallan player, so it's like, okay, I'm going to have not trouble beating him, but it's also going to be harder. This guy is an up-and-coming player. Baits out my side light because I can't punish a gauntlet side light with axe side light. And same thing there, and then he just misses a punish, so I get a free end light. Now I'm keeping the stage control really well. It goes for recovery. Maybe I can downlight here, but I just wanted to play it safe. I go for a dare, which is kind of unpunishable. Now we're in neutral. He goes for an end light because we're stacked. And when you're stacked and not really moving, it's kind of confirmed. I wasn't dashing or anything like that. Okay, now I'm dashing back. That side light was not confirmed, so then he gets a nice punish. And that's, again, tempo right there with that Sarah. He held back. I should have dared there. Free down air. There I was going for reaction. That Sarah just wasn't for sure confirmed, and it didn't have enough momentum to avoid. Now let's break down what just happened right here. The same thing there. 2-2-2. I go for a dare, and that's tempo. I dash back after the dare when stacked. That's my movement option. Now I'm in a perfect position. I just use dare to bait him out, and I use movement to avoid the attack. And then that down sig was a huge bait. I can't believe how quick that was. I want to go back. Look at that down sig one more time. Look how crazy this is. He dares, going for a reaction, goes for a down sig. I avoid it. I'm going for a punish, and he just instant end lights the other way. That down sig's crazy fast. I can't believe I didn't get that punish. I called him out there because he was diagonal to me. You can sometimes just attack people straight up, but only when it like really feels right. Like when you're really accurate with it, and it takes a lot of time and practice to understand those situations where to be accurate. But it's a lot safer to go for the confirms and whatnot, to practice that more consciously. The other stuff just comes over time. And this is a read I like to do. It's a pure shot in the dark sometimes, but it's really useful. A lot of people, they have this bad habit, and let me break this thing down. Sorry, I was breaking down a thumbnail earlier. They have a bad habit where basically people will come back to stage who are good, and they'll like dodge up around here, maybe they'll jump around here, because usually players jump ground pound near the stage. So what I like to do, and this is a 200 IQ Lance play, anyone that says Lance players are carried, I'm not. You dash off so you get to this position, then you ground pound slightly away from the stage, because even if they touch the stage, they're going to see me going like this. They're going to get scared and dodge to that same position. So more often than not, doing something that covers over here vertically like a ground pound is a lot safer than just going for a random ground pound on stage. And you actually see that here. I go off stage, he gets scared, so he spot dodges from not touching the wall, and I destroy him with it. That's a difference between a pro and a Valhallan. That is a crazy small thing, but it's big brain. And it took me, I actually learned this through multiverses, which is crazy. I would do this on Velma with Velma Dare. I tried applying it to Brawlhalla when I came back. That is something that can win you a tournament. It can also lose you a tournament, but sometimes it's worth it to go for those. And then right there, I hit a little 3-hit, you know, good little follow-ups. I called out a spot dodge there, and that is a tempo follow-up right there. Let's break down that nair that I just did. So take a look at this. We're in neutral, we're stacked. Even if he's grounded, I GC downlight. Again, you can just go for stuff if they're in the unreactable zone. He cannot react to that downlight properly. But it also has tons of active frames. Now you have no dodge. So what I do, I chase dodge, reverse nair. You can control the drift by either holding to the left, to the right, or don't hold at all. It changes it to a huge degree. Tons of drift to work with here. I hold backwards to avoid the end light. I hit a side light nair. And then I dare in the opposite direction for more tempo, and it covers when they go downwards, which he did there. And then I could have nared again, and I try and nair again. There I should have chase dodged there, honestly, and get some more momentum again. But I didn't. I landed, and then that's why I got called out by that end light. I hit a downer because it's pretty safe, and then I go for a Sarah for tempo. I'm a stock lead, and he jumps into it. And now I'm just kind of just playing with it. And GC side sig to punish that side sig. And I was just in good position with it through movement, and it's kind of over. It's Jover. That ground pound was stupid by me. I just gave him that stock. Don't do that in tournaments, folks. And let's just see how I end it. I'm just having fun at this point. Go for a Sarah. Side light nair. Goes for the end sig that I hit on super, and then I just hit a side light recovery because he had no dodge, because he just dodged the side light nair. Did he dodge it? I'm just assuming. Yeah, no dodge. And he didn't hit the ground, so that was confirmed. GG's. So, what did we learn here? big differences between the ranks. And if you're diamond and whatnot, playing for reactions and tempo follow-ups after hitting a true combo is the optimal way to play Brawlhalla. You've seen it right here, folks. And the difference between a pro and a Valhallan is sometimes it's small, but those little things with experience, covering the stacked options to win neutral, not falling so much into the tempo, which I probably could have done a better job at on the first stock, and then just the little bits of experience of dashing off the stage. It's like little like pocket secrets. Blue lock with my puzzle pieces. If you're reading the Blue Lock manga, I wouldn't say it's a Blue Lock spoiler, but Asagi with his like backwards kick or whatever. I think that happened in the first season. I can't remember. That's not a huge spoiler if you haven't seen it. You get what I mean, though. It's just like secret tools. And if you want to learn all of them, subscribe to Neutralix. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would definitely learn something if I was a newer player. So I really hope that this helped you guys improve. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.